Hi guys, so Berachain. This is one of the most promising technologies that will be released this year, and on the other side, one of the most intriguing airdrops. I know that many of you are just looking to understand, okay, can I make money from out of it? Yes, you can, but you need to know a couple of things, and that's exactly what we'll do together into this video. From one side, I will give you a brief overview on what is Berachain and why it's so cool and why everyone is talking about that. On the other side, which are all the strategies step by step that you can start using now in order to qualify for the airdrop. And finally, there are a couple of shortcuts that are giving you a better idea on why and how some people will earn more from this airdrop. Stay tuned and be ready to start using these strategies because that's the time. Time is running out and the airdrop is getting closer. Before to start, guys, let me say that this channel is about educational content. Nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's fine, but try always to find new information and to get the most out of any kind of crypto situation, because from one side we have great opportunities, but on the other side we have also risk. And don't forget, guys, if you're interested in any kind of airdrop, to follow us also on our weekly newsletter. We are publishing different guides that are helping you to better understand which are the opportunities and what you have to do in order to take them. And obviously, guys, please leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment. That's a small effort for you, but really means a lot to us. Okay, let's start immediately. Berachain. Berachain is an EVM compatible, even if it's a layer 1 that is based on a Cosmos SDK. And they already raised a lot of money. Let me show you. So as you can see, they raised $42 million. This happened just last year. And the reason why they raised so much at the valuation was at that time around $500 million. That's a lot, guys. If you think about, usually, if the last round was around that amount, we can expect that the FTV at the moment of the launch could be something loud around 2 billion, 3 billions. That's an important information also because the highest is the FTV. Usually the highest is also the airdrop, the amount of money that will be distributed among the whole community. And if you're wondering why so many people, investors, because as you can see, many of the biggest ones are backing this project. For example, Polychain Capital is a big player. The reason is because from one side, they are an EVM compatible, and on the other side, they are compatible with the Cosmos SDK. But most of all, what they are trying to do, they are solving the problem of DeFi. As we all know, the biggest problem of DeFi is liquidity. In order to perform any kind of action, from a basic swap to a perp trading or whatever you want to do on chain, on a DeFi ecosystem, you need the liquidity. And that's a big problem because imagine if you want to exchange $1,000, if there is not enough and not deep enough liquidity, you can end up selling your 1,000 bags just for maybe 900, and you will be losing like 10%. That's a big problem. So what I thought is that, well, guys, what we know is that there is a lot of liquidity is just there stagnant without any use into the DeFi space. And they are referring to the whole liquidity is about that is staked, that is locked in order to secure an ecosystem. For example, if we think about Ethereum, ETH is locked in a proof of stake system in order to be used by validators as a guarantee in order to secure the whole system. Usually, the highest is the amount of coins staked, the more secure is also the network. But obviously, in the moment when you are locking this amount of liquidity, that liquidity simply disappears from the DeFi ecosystem. That's a big problem. So what I said is that why we are not merging these two peculiarities. So once from one side, enabling, yes, the security, so it's still backing the security system in order to validate transactions, but on the other side, we can use the same liquidity to empower the DeFi ecosystem. So that's exactly what they did. They create a proof of stake blockchain based on the SDK of Cosmos, and they create a couple of native protocols that are using the liquidity. Because how it works is that we have Bera, that is the native token on the Berachain. On the other side, we have Honey, and that's a stable coin. After that, we have BGT, that is the governance token, that you can receive it in the moment when you are staking your Honey, and in that moment, you will start using, receiving in exchange the BGT token that is enabling you to participate to the governance. So as you can understand, they are creating a system where each step is connected to the other one. And if you want to get the maximum out of this kind of ecosystem, what you need to do is locking your Bera, taking your honey, locking your honey, and your honey will be used in order to empower, to give liquidity to the whole ecosystem. And in that moment, you will start receiving the token to participate to the governance process. So as you can see, it's pretty clever and pretty interesting. There is another important thing that you have also to know, and it is how Berachain was born. And it was born like much more like a meme coin in terms of idea. It was just like a joke. It was about a couple of NFTs that are a couple of collections that I will show you just in a moment. And that's something that is also really important. Why? Because it enabled them to create, before even thinking about a technology, they built a strong community. And this community is the fundamental of the ecosystem. Guys, remember, that's a really important to understand, because the best technology without users, that's useless. What we need is a great tech with a great community. And that kind of combination that they have been able to build has been amazing, because they built a community, and on top of that, they try. I'm saying trying because Berachain is still in a testnet, and at the end of the story, we need to see the result in mainnet when all the pieces of the puzzle will go together. Until that time, we can just hope that attack is good enough. If you want to know more, I will leave also the link of the website on their website. As you can see, it's up only because everything is going just at the contrary. If you're wondering what's the meaning of the name Berachain, it was the chain for the bears. As you know, bears, bulls. That's the fight to pump any kind of price, and they started joking too about that. As you can see, you can find all the information here. You can find all the investors and all the different core. If you want to know also which are the applications that are already running, here, just click on dApps and you will have all the official links. Don't worry, now we will go through all of them step by step. So let's start for the first thing that you need to know in order to qualify for an airdrop. As always, right now, it's still in testnet. And the idea is that Berachain will reward people that will be using their testnet. There is not enough information to know exactly how and how much will be allocated, but we can be pretty confident that they will be allocating enough, because that's something that has been started really from the community. So first thing that you have to do is simply going to chain list and write Berachain. As you can see, this is the name of the testnet. Just to add to MetaMask and you will be able to start using it through your MetaMask account. After that, go to the file chat. I will leave the link also into the description below and also into the comment section. Just type here your address, click here to prove that you are not a bot, and confirm the transaction, and you will receive the Bera token into your wallet. You can repeat this process, as you can see here, every 8 hours. So this is an important information, guys, because obviously the more transactions you do, the more Bera you need. The more volume you do also, the highest that could be the kind of allocation that you will receive in the moment when the airdrop will happen. So feel free to reiterate this process as many times as you want. Okay, once we have our Bera into our wallet, let's go to the first protocol. And the first protocol is a BEX, or aka a DEX, a decentralized exchange on Berachain, where you can swap any kind of token and receive in exchange any other kind of token. What I can suggest to you here is just swap your Bera and receive in exchange STG USDC. After that, when you have complete this step, obviously you would need to connect your account and you are ready to go. After that, just simply go to honeyberachain.com. That's where you can mint the native stablecoin of the Berachain ecosystem. Just use your SDG USDC as a collateral, as a counterparty. As you can see, it's not so much different from what we have seen with MakerDAO, where you are using your stablecoin, you are depositing them, and you're receiving a DAO, it is stablecoin by MakerDAO. In this case, they are giving you Honey. Complete the exchange, you need to approve the transaction, and after that, you need to confirm it through your wallet. Once you have it, you're ready to go to the next protocol. I will add a small thing before showing you the next protocol, that in the moment when you go into the backs, if you want to maximize your airdrop, you need to perform as many actions as possible. So feel free to perform different swaps here, not just with SDG in order to be able to mint Honey, but also feel free to add liquidity to any kind of pair. You can do that single token, multi-token, or whatever. And do that as many times as possible. And most of all, do that during the time, not just once. Do that today, tomorrow, in a week, in a month, and so on. Just today, the Starknet airdrop came out, and they were saying, guys, if you perform at least one action in 3 different months, you will be enabled to receive the airdrop. So that's important to be understood. Do that as many times as possible and start now. The soonest you start, the more and the highest will be your allocation. So once we have understood that, let's go to the band protocol. It's like a money market when you provide a collateral and you're able to mint something else. In this case, you're able to borrow the Honey stablecoin. So just provide one of the supported assets. In this moment, it's available WBTC and WETH. If you're wondering how to retrieve them, just go back to the backs and swap your Bera or any kind of asset you have in your wallet for the required assets. So we are talking about WBTC and WETH. When you have done that, you need to deposit, obviously, follow the procedure, and you are good to go. You're able to borrow Honey. As always, when you borrow something, there is the LTV, loan to value, that is has certain kind of thresholds. Remember that you can still be liquidated, so just pay attention to that in order to not lose your collateral, even if, as always, we are just using a testnet. So at the end of the story, we are talking about fake money. Okay, so here you can get more Honey, and you can even supply Honey. It cannot be used as collateral to borrow more Honey, but you can supply them in order to earn more APY. Remember, guys, every time you stake something, this something will be used by the entire ecosystem as a liquidity in order to make the market more deep. Going on and going to the last native application, decentralized application by Berachain, that is called Burbs. Burbs is the one that will enable you to start minting the governance token, the BGT that you are finding in the right corner here. And what you need to do is depositing your Honey. In the moment when you are start depositing your Honey, you will start earning rewards. This here, when you click claim, here you can find the amount of rewards. In this case, I just created this account just a moment ago, just to show you the process, just to test it out also before recording this video. And as you can see, these are the rewards that I'm already able to claim, but you can receive more rewards by depositing more Honey. And as always, guys, if you need more coins in order to interact with a higher volume on this chain, just come again to the file chat and redeem them. So through this protocol, you will start earning the governance token. I will show you in a second how to use the governance token. Before going on, I want to show you also what you can do through Burbs. As you can see in this moment, we had just this insane spike on Ethereum, and I have been also pretty lucky. I made like 5x on my capital because I literally use, as you can see here, I use like 100x leverage, real leverage, with an entry point at 2,623. Unfortunately, even if I have done 4.6x, it was just on a testnet. So I did 50 bucks out of 10. but it's just fake money. Anyway, that's the perpetual protocol. What you can do is simply using your honey. Remember, guys, that you need at least 10 honey in order to start opening a position in order to use this platform. And the rules that we are usually suggesting in order to take the maximum out for your airdrop is make volume. So open a position, don't close it immediately. Take it open at least for some minutes, and better if in some case you are kept open also for a couple of days, even a week, because we never know exactly how and which will be the rules in order to qualify for the airdrop. So we need to differentiate our strategies. And during the period, it's not just about today. I will come back also tomorrow and the day after, in a week again, so on, in order to maximize my airdrop. Just deposit your honey, open the position. You can long and short. As you can see, it's much closer to what we have seen with GMX or Equation. That is another protocol that I have been talking about on this channel. Okay, now that we have understood that, okay, let's check it out. What is the station Berachain? This is the place where you can participate to the governance, and you can delegate in case your tokens. The interface is pretty simple. Here you can find delegate, here you can find governance, validators. If you want to know exactly how to delegate them, you can also click on My BGT. This is the first tab into the menu, and you will be able to find a guide. How do I delegate my tokens? What is the gauge? And so, in order, if you want to have more details, otherwise, just follow the different steps. Either way, remember, guys, that's just the beginning of the process. The goal is literally to interact with the platform from one side to know it better, because as always, the more familiar you are with something, in the moment it will go into the main net, you will be ready to take the maximum out. Going to the final step, because this is a kind of trick. If you want to maximize your allocation, a good idea is always to deploy something. And this something could be deployed just going to this link, thirdweb.com. Don't worry, I will leave also the link. And just click on contracts and do deploy contract. As you know, often the airdrops are going also to the developers, and that are basically people who deployed something on blockchain. Well, through third web, even if you are not a developer, you can start deploying a contract. Maybe you will not be rewarded so much, maybe you will get something, maybe nothing, we don't know. But consider it takes you literally a couple of minutes and it's completely free, why not to try it out? So you have just to go to contracts, deploy contract. After that, you will be redirected to this page. You can choose which is the contract you want to deploy. If you want to deploy a token, just click on token. And as you will see, this is the interface that you will find. Just click on deploy now. Write down a name, H, a symbol, HAGF. After that, click get default, and you are ready to go. Just deploy. You will have to wait for deploying contract. After that, adding to dashboard. So it's just a couple of transactions that you have to sign through your wallet, and you are ready to go. In this moment, you have deployed something also on Berachain. So this is how Berachain works, and I highly encourage you to follow this process in order to maximize your airdrop. There are other two things that you have to know. One, easy go. Just follow Galaxy, and you will have different tasks to complete in order to get points. As always, we don't know how they will be rewarding, but as you can see, if you go also into their website and click on view quests just in the right corner on the bottom, you will see which are the quests that are still active. You can just refer to their main website in order to retrieve and to check if there is any update on that. The second thing that is even more important, do you remember at the beginning when I was telling you that this project started as a community thing? As you can see, this is an infographic that is pretty nice. So started as NFT project for fun in the DeFi ecosystem. What does it mean? It simply means that at the beginning, they start giving, minting, selling NFTs. So one of the possible hypotheses is that they will also reward people who are holding these tokens. As you can see, made the NFTs rebase and grew a massive cult community. And these are all characters from their NFTs. What I want to tell you is that if you go to, for example, this is element dot market, it is Beat Bears by Berachain. These are all the bears. These collections are out there. I'm not suggesting you to buy. That's something is pretty much a personal choice, also because it's pretty risky, because it means buying something, investing money, but you don't have any kind of assurance that you will receive something in exchange. So it's up to you what you want to do. But if you check also on Dune, and there are a couple of nice infographics that are telling us how big is the market cap of these NFTs. And as you can see, in this case, we are talking about almost 90 million. So we are having, even now, 90 millions. That's the overall value of all these NFTs. So that's pretty much. So be ready. Maybe it's not just about using a testnet. Maybe it's also about having holding an NFT or many of them. There are different projects that are also moving steps into the ecosystem. I will leave also this link still from Dune that is giving you like here a list of different kind of projects that are moving steps into this ecosystem. As you can see, there are many of them. Many of them are also raising money through NFTs and whatever. So be ready, because Berachain, it's a strong project, mainly because, as I was telling at the beginning, backed by VC, interesting promise in terms of tech, and strong community behind. These kind of ingredients could, at least at the beginning, because at the end of the story, at the beginning it's just about hype and all these different pieces that I just shown you. But after that, it's also about attraction and the real value that that technology is able to create. But what we care right now is the first step, and the ingredients for the first step are amazing. So, guys, follow this project, check it out, all the steps, take your decisions, and I wish you the best luck in order to maximize your airdrop. Guys, if you have any questions, just write me down into the comment section, and I will be more than welcome to answer you. And please leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment to the comment section. That's a small effort, but really means a lot to us. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye, guys.